Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Tavern. We had an amazing week at the Masters. It's now time for the Heritage. Let's see what's going on this week. How's everybody doing this evening?
Lee!
Lee, long time no see.
Hey, I know you. We just played some awesome golf together.
We did just play some awesome golf together. I kept my Shank and Duff card.
Rob Duff got his back.
Yep.
Lee, did you lose yours?
Oh no, I maintained mine.
So
he just keeps making more and more.
I was gonna say there's a stack at the house, I'm sure.
It was very interesting, like how the rules kept being added on as we were playing. Like, oh yeah, you get a point for this, and you get a point for this.
We had to help Greg out.
I think what I had, I 34, 36 points, something like that.
Something like that. 34, yeah.
Yeah, and you had 27.
Yep.
So it was. I will say the Shank and Duff point system for playing is a lot of fun. It made it interesting with the gurs and furs and pars and birdies coming into play and winning holes and
in the long run, it hones the game.
It does. It actually helps you out. I think it makes you think, like, focus more on your game, which is nice. So we had a fun time today.
I do need to clarify
parliamentary procedure.
My question is, did we witness a Duff hole-in-one today?
We did not witness a Duff hole-in-one today.
We witnessed the Duff on the Duff hole-in-one hole.
Oh yeah.
Duff, I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, Duff has been haunted on that hole ever since. But we had an amazing time today.
But you can see how well Duff's game has come since the last time you were here. It is crazy.
Oh yeah, Duff pipes him down the fairway. Like, he is a fairway finder.
I mean, I would expect nothing less.
Yeah.
Nothing less.
That statement, Duff doing Duff stuff, was probably said once per hole.
Yeah, easy.
So
hey, I do need to give a shout out to somebody on this podcast with us tonight, Lee. Thank you.
Hey, you got it.
your courier service.
Yeah, my courier service.
All right. Well, with that, let's get into to first round.
I want to start first round with a question here. Is Scottie making the game look too easy?
No, he's making everyone else look bad.
No, here's the thing. His scores and winning make it look easy, but if you actually watch his swing, it makes it look so freaking hard.
Yeah.
Right.
Do not follow Scottie's footwork.
Like, I feel like he's one swing away from a shank because his footwork is going to be off, and the next thing that's going to happen is El Jose is going to get involved. The problem is he hit shots like the one he hit on 9 on Sunday, where he basically shut the door on everybody else. And you're like, all right, cool. It's over now. Like, the Masters ended on the 10th tee on Sunday because that's when the golf tournament was won.
Well, I think with Scottie, and, I'm going to, be relatively – the only golf – I saw maybe 14 holes on TV in 4 days, and that was it. Yes, I'll look surprised. But I did have it on my headset. I was listening to Sirius XM, Channel 92, the Masters coverage in my headset all week. And so
okay,
for me,
that's acceptable.
It was a completely different perspective, not seeing the golf shots, but just listening to them, on the air and, how, things were shaping up there. But watching Scottie, yeah, he won, but nobody could make that charge on him on Sunday.
But here's the problem: does he make the game look too easy? Because nobody can make that charge because he's hitting golf shots and playing a game. Jack. They said this about Jack Nicklaus. He plays a game of which I'm not familiar. Like he just makes it look easy. I mean, even his bad shots look good. He missed it in the right spot the whole day on Sunday.
Was make par. All he had to do was make par.
So we talked about this though. Is he the new Tiger Woods? Because if you look at it right now, like in his last 4 starts, he is winner, tied second, winner.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like
he literally has more wins than he has rounds over par this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't been over par at all.
What? You've got more wins than you have rounds over par. Like, who does that? Who?
Shank and Duff did it today on the and
I mean,
Greg, we did it on the course today. We had our inner Scottie out on the course today.
Like, I just feel like. Do you want to give a quick shout out here? What's up, Craig? How are you, buddy?
Craig.
I think that when we're all said and done and we look back at what Scottie's done, and we can say a lot of things about guys like Jordan, Ricky, and Ricky's come back since having a kid, but
big shout out to Ricky winning the par 3.
And big shout out, Ricky announced just before he came on here that he and his wife are expecting their second child this summer. Good for him. Awesome. But when you look at what these guys have done after fatherhood, can we look back and say, Scottie, I mean, I hope he can keep this up. I think he's good enough, and I think he's mentally enough to do it because he doesn't pay attention to anything else.
Keep it up. He shot, like I said, winner, T2, winner. Like,
and he goes on to win the Masters with the chance of him knowing in the back of his mind, I may have to walk off the course on 14 if she goes into labor.
So Leah and I talked about this in the car ride back from Paris Island. You know she was not calling.
No.
Like at that point, she's just like, I'm gonna let him get that money.
At that point, the call is coming when he puts out. He's going in. They're slipping on the jacket, and he's out. Like there was no. And no one at Augusta. No one at Augusta would be mad. Everybody
I'll pick up my jacket later. I already got it. It's like you don't get a new one, so
yeah.
I'll just get my jacket.
Long. Let's go.
Yeah,
it fits. We're
a little bit long on the left. It's good.
Yeah, it's a little bit long.
Yeah. But that's what we see. That's what, and I love seeing this in golf again. I love seeing this on the professional tour again. Like this is what we need right now.
Yeah.
We need someone like this.
Oh, absolutely.
Scottie needs a counterpart.
Here's the problem, and who was it? Brad Faxon said this yesterday, and I saw this comment, and he's not wrong. The PGA Tour, and the thing that the PGA Tour is missing right now is they don't have a villain. The villain's gone.
Yeah. They do have a villain.
Who?
Well, a villain that plays every week.
Who?
It's called the Live Tour. That's what they
don't have and that's my next topic. But there's no other player that's a villain on the PGA Tour anymore. You don't have the Bryson. You don't have. They all left.
They all
so my next question to throw out there. John Rahm came into the week talking about the fact that he thought that there was going to be some animosity towards the LIV players. And there was an article that came out that there were a couple PGA Tour players that didn't even acknowledge Rahm's existence. One of them kind of surprised me, actually. One of them didn't. The question that I have is, obviously Bryson played great on day one. Shoot 7 under par on day one. Like that was a stupid number, and I will give him a ton of credit for that. But when you look at where the LIV players finished, they looked about as rusty as Tiger not having reps coming into the Masters.
So that's 100% true. It's the fourth round gets you. When you're only used to, 2 rounds got me today. Ask Lee how I was on 17 and 18. I mean, I luckily
He was
parred
done.
18. I luckily parred 18, but 17 I was done. But that's the truth. Is they don't have the preparation leading up to this, and you saw that this year. I feel the hype last year helped them get into this. Like they were hyped up to do well, and that showed last year. But this year there wasn't that hype that was there for the Liv. And you know what? It showed on Sunday. Even Bryson, who was, I've got to say, their strongest golfer right now.
Agreed.
He's the only one that showed anything, but he fell off on Sunday.
Yeah, he struggled on the par fives, and he can't do that.
No. And I'm going to say something because I have some insider information. Those irons, by the way, the Masters wasn't the first time those irons were put into play.
It's not that but he needs more reps than that. Like,
yeah.
Right. Cam Smith made a charge. Duff, you're right. Cam Smith did, and Cam Smith had a good week, but not a Cam Smith week. Like, let's be real. Like, Cam Smith backdoored his way into a top 10.
Yeah.
And you expect a player of Cam Smith's caliber to be up there. And again, I've said this on this show before. I don't think Liv, and part of their problem is they don't gain any momentum. We forget about them because there's too much time off in between events.
Yep.
You can't find them on TV to begin with because where's the CW? But you run into this problem with Liv where they're not getting enough reps. They're not like John Rahm last year played 26 rounds before getting to Augusta National, competitive rounds on the PGA Tour. He had played 9 leading into the Masters this year. And he played it as, I'm fresher, I'm this, I'm that. You don't have enough reps under your belt coming into Augusta, and especially the conditions that they had to face on Friday or Thursday afternoon and into Friday, and all the conditions they had to face. 6-hour round was going to happen on Friday afternoon because the wind was that bad. I'm still surprised they made it through without a play stoppage on Friday afternoon as fast as those greens are. I mean,
heck, look at, what was it, Gary Woodland's ball going for a sailing ride?
Yep. I want to ask this question.
Go for a sailing ride.
Oh, that's next topic. Hold on. We'll go for that. We'll get that in a minute. Would Taylor Gooch have made the cut this week, or would there have been an asterisk next to his name?
I think I need another beer.
You want to leave that one alone, huh?
Yeah, that's. What are you gonna do? I mean, I love how they say the best players in the world, if you leave out Liv, aren't there. But to be honest, if you look at it right now, they're not the current best players in the world.
No, they're not.
And they showed that this week. And I'm not trying to battle. I love these golfers, but they're not playing up to what they used to be. Let's be honest.
No, they're not.
And that's part of their thing is they get to play less golf, and it's going to hurt their golf in the long run.
It does. It's 100% true.
And the one guy that has benefited from it, and I'll say this, Joaquin Niemann, and he still didn't play great. I mean, he played all around the world and got his invite because he played his tail off to get in because he played it in Australia and everywhere else that he could get into. And the Masters acknowledged that and gave him the invite because he won in Australia and he did a bunch of other things. He deserved to be there. But he played decent this week. You made the cut. There were some guys that backdoored their way into cuts depending on their start time because of how bad the weather got. But, Dave, you said it. Jason Day, Sweatergate. I guess we'll call it Sweatergate. I'm from New England, okay?
I was more talking about the pants that, could have been doubled as, sales for Old Ironside.
Those are basically Tiger's pants from like 97.
Right. Like everybody that made fun of those.
MC Hammer's gangsters called, they want their pants back.
Right. And I got no problem with honestly, I don't have a problem with the pants other than they would have been really annoying in the wind.
Actually, I probably have more problem with the pants. And Steve, I texted you the minute I saw him wearing that sweater, and I was like, God damn, that is the most annoying thing to look at. Like,
here's the thing that I'm going to say. I'm going to give kudos,
stuff.
and you're going to hear kudos from me to Malbon Golf. Because from a PR standpoint, no publicity, any publicity is good publicity.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was talking about it, and It was a gold mine for Melbourne. Great move by Melbourne Golf. Congratulations. Well done.
It was the equivalent to Victor Hovland's shirt last year from Travis Matthews. Like that was
Correct.
like he's in the lead on the first day, and you're like, oh, why did I wear this stupid shirt? Like, I do find it interesting.
I do want to say,
that,
hold on, a comment from Instagram right now. Hey, Desert Fox Golf, Scott, what's up, buddy? The comment about Zach Johnson, that's our next topic. So just as an FYI, we're going to get to that.
So I do find it funny that Augusta National is like, don't wear that stupid sweater. Like, if you're going to have a dress code, tell them in advance, like that, hey, you can't wear this. Hey, don't do this stuff. Don't go up to them at the time and be like, you need to take that off.
So, I mean, that's one thing, even in the spectators or patrons guide says no large logo items.
So here's the thing. But from a player standpoint, you let Sergio roll in those yellow pants. Those things were
great.
hideous.
What are you talking about? Those are awesome.
So, and there's been some, like, it's not Wimbledon. It's not.
It's the U.S. version of Wimbledon. Let's be honest. It's that.
I mean,
it's a.
Everybody
It's
doesn't
a
have
classic.
to wear white. I mean,
No, but it has that. But you have that prestige. You have that.
The prestige.
Like you honor what that course is the same way you honor what Wimbledon is.
correct.
So it is Wimbledon in a sense. You just don't have the queen.
I just want to know, as we talk about logos and we talk about this, that, and the other, are all of the PGA Tour players going to now roll out on all of their shirts and hats with the PGA Tour logo, like the Live guys have the Live logo on everything?
Well,
Wow.
I think, there's a movie out there. It's Tin Cup, sponsored by 84 Lumber. I'm sponsored by, Waffle House.
I mean, they've paid all of them handsomely up front. We know that,
Well,
but
So that's the truth, though. It's not. Is it just a sponsorship at this point? Like the same way you have the Major League logo on there, the MasterCard logo on all these other players. You have all these other logos. That's who's paying them now. Let's be honest. That's their.
It's NASCAR on 2 feet.
right.
Can I say that I hate that I actually like Bryson DeChambeau's team hat, the golf ball with the tees.
That was
Oh,
a
the
good hat.
Crushers, the Crushers
The Crushers
logo.
hat. I actually like that logo.
He's got a great towel there too.
He does, and somebody, that NetJets towel wasn't the regular NetJets towel. That was a Towel Tag NetJets towel, actually. Funny enough, because I sent a text message to find out because I was like, "What's that?" Okay, so I teased it. Zach Johnson.
Huh? What?
Okay, let me ask you.
Hey, Greg, really quickly before you go to Zach. Greg has no taste. The Crushers logo is terrible from Scott.
Really, Scott?
That came
The
from
Crushers-
Scott.
I'm not
just
saying
letting
it
you
looks
know.
good. It's a decent logo. I kind of like it. It looks like an angry golf ball.
For
With
No,
Bryson.
you know what it looks like? It looks like a minor league baseball logo compared to some of their other logos.
Exactly.
That's why I love minor league baseball logos.
Right. It looks like a minor league baseball logo.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. What was worse?
Scott, I thought we were friends. Just saying.
Would go PSU alumni.
I'm about to say,
Zach
we have
Johnson's action on the 12th green or his statement afterwards. Which one was worse?
the
The
statement.
Statement.
Something came out today, and I don't know if I can
Here's what-
read this.
Here's why the
I
statement
don't-
is the
I
problem.
don't know. I don't
Because
know
the
if I can read
statement,
this on a family-friendly show, but give me a second.
but the statement was like, "Oh, I have no idea what happened." I kind of believe him that maybe you didn't, you weren't directing that at somebody. It looked like you were on TV, but I can't see who's over there, so I'll give you that. But you kind of like totally forgot that whole thing is there. I get that you're in the round, but come on, man. You said what you said, and it's on camera.
Microphone picked it up. It's on camera.
Yeah, I think I heard that, like, part of that on, on the radio coverage, and I think it was McGinnis that said, "Huh, somebody on TV is going to have a field day with this one."
Well, and the other thing with it is people got to stop giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
Like, he did a decent job at Ryder Cup. If you watch first full swing, like, you saw the trouble that was. No one else was going to be do what he did.
No.
So stop giving him a hard time. Let the dude play golf.
He's not the first U.S. captain to lose over there.
Ah.
So somebody put on Reddit, and I don't know, I don't want to believe this. There's part of this when I get to it, you're going to be like, no way, this is true, because it doesn't sound like what would happen at Augusta. But this was from Reddit. I was there on hole 12 for Zach Johnson's F-off moment at the Masters. I was one of the survivors. Here's what happened. Prior to Zach teeing off on 12, several patrons were shouting out some things about his poor Ryder Cup showing. Some that I recall are Urban Meyer is a better coach than you. You couldn't coach a WNBA team. Your swing is weird. Typically, that's not okay at Augusta. So that's why there's part of me that's not buying this at all. But that is Zach Johnson, so it was fine. Anyway, he addresses the crowd saying, "Are you effing serious?" A couple patrons respond, "Obviously, F yeah we are," and "Yeah, Karen." So finally, he made triple bogey on the easy short hole number 12, and we politely applauded. He then looks at us and yells, "F off." There were kids in the crowd, and one asked, "What does that mean?"
So, yeah, no, I don't believe that. First of all, the Urban Meyer comment was from a few weeks ago. It was not this week.
Yeah.
Like, you're piecing together stories there.
Right. But here's my other problem. Zach now has this isn't waste management with a drunken crowd that acts way out of line. Lee, you were there this week. We were all there last year. The crowd at Augusta is generally very well behaved, and if they're not, they are removed. Like, Augusta doesn't mess around quickly, and so that's why I don't believe any of that happening. The problem that I have with what Zach did is that he is now getting to that point where you have no thick skin. Like, your skin is real thin, and if you are going to be criticized for the picks that you made and the decisions that you made, it's rightfully so, because you went in thinking that you had this great team that should have walked all over the European squad when you looked at it on paper, and yet they weren't prepared. You had guys that took 6 weeks off between playing at the end of the season and again weren't in tournament condition to go and play the Ryder Cup, much like we talked about earlier with the live players and not having enough reps. So I think you have this problem with Zach where you're like, he is being hypersensitive of what happened. He's being hypersensitive of the fact that he is being criticized for what happened, and he has to take responsibility at some point. And golfers are notorious for not taking accountability or responsibility. They're the first ones that when something goes bad, they're going to fire their swing coach, Victor Hovland. They're going to fire their caddy, Justin Thomas.
Let's just go over the list.
Yeah, I mean, so golfers never taking accountability.
Ball in a different palm tree.
Patrick Reed. But like, my problem is that at some point Zach needs to be like, listen, I got to sit on the sword. I screwed up, and he hasn't really. I mean, he kind of did it at the Ryder Cup, but he hasn't done it enough to get through to everybody else to say, yeah, this is my fault.
Well, I also think that people need to calm down. Like, stop. And this goes for any sport, to be honest with you, is stop berating these players as a fan. Like, boo, do that. Stop. They're getting nasty in every sport where this is uncalled for. So I don't blame Zach for not, like, at a point, breaking, because it needs to stop in sports. We can't have this where you're just yelling at people. You're yelling curse words at people. Like,
can I ask for one exception on that?
Angel Hernandez.
Angel Hernandez. Thanks.
Okay. Hold on. That's not an exception. I didn't say officials.
Yeah.
No, but even so, you can't even to the point at kids sporting events, you hear this sometimes at officials. It needs to stop. As golfing dads, as dads, this is what we should be. We should be leading by example and being better for people. We shouldn't be drunk at golf tournaments yelling at Zach Johnson for something that happened a year ago.
And the problem is and you look at it all the way through college football, the NFL, anything, the instantaneous results. You go 8-8 2 years in a row and you're out of a job because it's not good enough.
Well, the other problem is it's all this betting and gambling. So, I mean, with that, let's get into odds with Dave. No.
But, the other part, it's, like with Zach and everything, it's he's not the one that was out there hitting the golf shots. He can only put things together. It's like managing a baseball team. There's, 9 guys out there on the field that have to perform. And if they're not all performing, you're going to lose no matter what the manager does.
Even if they're the Oakland A's with their payroll?
Yes.
When do they win?
Right.
But that's a good point, Dave. That's a great analogy to baseball is because, and really any sport is you can put the best players out there, but they have to perform. Or as any golfer, it's not the equipment, it's the person holding the equipment.
Yeah. San Diego Padres last year, prime example.
Right. Where do you think, I mean, at some point, and we're not asking them to change the way that things happen at Phoenix, just police it a little better than it happened this year. But where do you think, tournaments need to start drawing the line?
Phoenix is a good example this year. Phoenix had the perfect storm this year with the weather and everything that's like that. I think you need events that are going to be fun like that. I mean, Lee and I on Friday are going to get completely obliterated here at Harbortown.
Can you do me a favor? Because I don't know that Lee gets obliterated. So I need a video of that.
How much water does it take?
How much water does it take? Water or Mountain Dew? Water or Mountain Dew?
There's pictures of me a few years ago where I had a really good time at Harbortown. I had a waste management type time at Harbortown. But it's the events are fun. Events like this are fun. Events like waste management are fun. But it's when you have too much fun, that's when everybody you need to make sure that you are serving to a certain point. You're not over serving. You're not letting people start drinking at 8 a.m. and get there. Maybe don't start alcohol sales right away. Don't.
Not a bad idea.
Stop it later on in the day so that there's some time. Go with kind of that new baseball rule of how it goes so many innings in there, but you still need these events to be fun. You still need people to have a good time.
I think the tour cuts off sales at the last putt on 18 at the conclusion of tournament play.
Yeah, but I'm almost thinking when the last group is on 15, when their putt sinks on 15, sales are cut off.
I look at, I'm on the other side of the coin, there, looking at it the same way. It goes back to being, responsible vendors. I look at people every Saturday night while I'm working. I'm like, it's you're not getting one now. And
exactly.
I think
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Volunteers and everything, run beer tents and things like that. Their training is the 3 of us have all been through a responsible vendor class at least once in our life.
Yes, we have.
It's just having volunteers running beer sales and things like that. They don't know the telltale signs of what to look for when you're saying, no, you've had enough. You can't have another beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, when you're starting to make the beer worm with your cups, it's time to be cut off.
That's a sign.
I just think people Monday that might have had a little bit too many green cups.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing that Augusta does very well is they also limit the types of alcohol that is sold there. There's only 4 selections of things you can have. So you can't really get obliterated to an extent the same way.
Where can you get, and I need to ask this question because I didn't see it, the Azalea drink? When you walk through the concession stand, it's soda or beer.
Yeah, George tried to find it too.
And
Was it
like,
was
where
it
do you-
back? Was it back under like the concession stand back under the main scoreboard?
It's only
No.
at Map and Flag.
Oh, okay.
That's what my guess. Map and flag.
That's
or
what
the
my guess
clubhouse.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
map and
I
flag
think
or the clubhouse.
It's limited to certain ones that is there, but that's the thing is if you just
You're
do
right.
things like that, I think that would help.
Berkman's
it's-
too. I'm sure you can get him at
It's
Berkman's.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still fun. It's like you shouldn't have the goal of going to these events to get obliterated.
No,
You should have the goal to have fun, be there all day, be outside. Like it's
You know
a
what?
great sporting event.
And last year, we had a couple drinks, but we never got out of the ordinary.
Well, that's the other thing I think they do really well at Augusta is they're spaced out.
yeah,
Right.
It's not like you can go from place to place to place. Like I will say at Harbortown, the other thing that can hurt with this is if you have like the all inclusive where you can go into tents and like different things
Yeah.
like that. If you have that pass, that helps. Also, Harbortown, I've gone to people's houses that are on the course that and
Dave, we did that.
no, I don't know what you're talking about.
it's exactly like you did that at Nona. Like it's that too. So like that can play a factor that they cannot control because they're not going to stop you from someone's house that's right there.
Right.
But for the most part, it's just be there, have a good time. At Augusta, you're not going to be at a house. Yeah, there's a perfect example. You got a bottle at the but you go to these places and Augusta spreads it out. It's not like it's on every hole. It's not like it's sponsored every hole. So it's different there.
Mhm.
And at the Waste Management, I mean, you want to have that, and you have that 16 hole, and you're creating this atmosphere. You created this beast, and it got out of hand.
Yeah.
You know what created the beast?
The 16.
Tiger Woods hole in one.
Yeah, well, it's the 16th created this whole atmosphere there, and it's a great thing to have. But like the other thing I talk to people about, especially since now we've been to Augusta, when people ask, they're like, "What's it like?" And I said, "It's different than anything else because everyone has a respect. No one wants to get kicked out. No one wants to get banned. Even though I told Lee the only way I would ever get banned from Augusta today, I said if I hit a hole in one at Augusta, I'm stealing that flag, even if I get banned. Because if I hit a hole in one at Augusta and I get the flag, because I don't believe that I get to buy a painting of the picture and that I become a member. Like if that's the case, I'm not stealing the flag. But to be honest, it's I also want to know how that media person whose first round of golf was at Augusta on Monday. I want to know how they shot.
Right.
Yeah, where's that report? We need that reporting.
Yeah.
Over under on better than my score.
I'll take you.
Yeah.
Hey, Greg, I don't know if we should post this or not. Are you?
We talked about that because he didn't take it when he hit his hole in one. I said, why not?
Why not? They should really give him that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm not stealing anything off a military base. I'm just saying that ain't happening.
They're definitely have a pass
Last
for that.
place, definitely not get in trouble with that one.
Another conversation Lee and I had about being arrested by the military police on the federal, and then it's a federal ticket if you get pulled over.
Yes.
Sir, we're going to need that flag back.
Yeah. What flag? Oh, wait, what? What? We'll pull the Zach Johnson.
This isn't where I parked my car.
Is there a bigger issue in golf right now? And the answer is yes, but we need to dive into it. TV ratings for the Masters on Sunday were down 20%. They've been down across the board with all of golf this year.
I have the solution.
No, here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna devil's advocate this here for a second. Within the TV ratings, are they counting people that were watching things through not just CBS,
listening to Sirius XM through their headset,
right? Or watching a multicast through the app.
Bingo! That right
because
there is key.
The app
That's
for the
true.
Masters has become And they talk a lot about this on Sirius, you know, just with IBM there and everything and what they've been able to do. You know, the app has been the place to go to watch the Masters. You know, maybe golf as a whole is down, but the Masters itself, if you can grab that app data with a multicast or a featured group or creating your own pairing.
Yeah, I believe they do.
You know, that
they don't.
A lot better way to watch the Masters.
They don't.
Oh, then I guarantee that the ratings aren't as down as much as they think then.
Yeah, it was better coverage on the Masters website than it was on TV.
Yeah, although I will say the Masters app on my iPad, on my TV, that when I kept going to that, I kept having to switch to like ESPN or Paramount because it would like the double speak, like it would play one video in the background and then the one I'm watching is playing over that. It was driving me nuts. So the app was giving me problems.
The thing that I hated is like if you had the feature group up on one and then like holes, you know, amen corner, there was like a 2-second delay between some of the shots there. It's just like
that always happens because they're trying to
and two completely different camera angles for it.
Yeah.
And part of that is streaming tends to be a step behind cable anyway. Yeah. If you're doing it off of cable. So I think the bigger issue though, when we look at it, 20% is a huge number. Like when you think about that number, 20% is huge. My take on this is people are done with rich people complaining about getting richer.
That's the problem, is that it's this live and like these players that are complaining about not making enough money or not making enough for what they do. That's out there. That is a huge problem. The other problem is they didn't have Caitlin Clark.
Yeah. Who the Indians now do.
Let's be honest. Everyone's watching Caitlin Clark right now. If she was playing at the Masters, the ratings would have been up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, correct. Greg Norman being at Augusta. Do we need to talk about that or no?
He bought a ticket. He's a spectator.
Let's do this. Let's go into happy hour and let's talk Augusta and Liv and all that fun stuff.
I have a go into happy hour.
Perfect.
Steve has a sheet.
I want to be here, right?
Okay. Duff, that picture, that video right there is Dave on the 12th hole. And the reason I'm bringing that up is Duff's goal was to hit a green in regulation on the 12th hole, and he just missed it today.
That's probably the purest wedge shot I've ever hit there too on that video.
That is also true. But I thought about that
with that club.
I thought about that today.
So Rory had to make an emergency meeting with
thank God.
With Steve from the Golf Channel. So the rumor came out late Sunday that Rory was imminently signing with Liv for $850 million.
I do some sketchy things for $850 million. I'm just saying.
I'd sign me up.
I would too.
I would do it for $850.
I mean, that also true. My first thought when I read this was, I don't know. He came out 2 weeks ago and said, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying on the PGA Tour." Yada yada yada. He's got a lot of money invested in going to TGL. He has a lot of things going on with the money that's coming into the PGA Tour and getting a lot of that money that they're getting in the equity stake. And I thought, there's no way this is happening.
Well, and here
then I thought about the dollar amount of $850 million, and I went, that seems like a lot of money to pay.
Because John Rahm said the same thing last year. I'm not going there.
Right. Well, and I thought $850 million is a lot. But my thought was, really quickly, my initial thought was the agreement with the PIF and the PGA Tour was supposed to be signed by Masters Week. It's now Masters Week is over and that deal is not signed. And my first thought was somebody from the Liv or PIF planted this to scare the PGA Tour. Was my first thought that I thought of.
Well, so my 3 thoughts were, number one, if this happens, it is the worst thing for professional golf at this point, because you're taking someone from the PGA who's been the voice of the PGA against LIV, against all of this, that says they need to come together, but this was not going to be the way. This would have ruined it. My second thought was, if it's true and it does go through, Monahan needs to go from the leadership of the PGA, because you're losing people left and right, and you're not doing anything. And the stuff that you have done to think you're doing anything was kind of behind the players' back. You're not helping the players out, and that's the problem that's there. I still think that's there, but hopefully there's something being done. And 3, I knew this kind of wasn't true because of what you said, Steve. He has enough invested in this. There's not like, it would have been really bad. It would have ruined the professional game. The professional game is already struggling right now. To what you said before, we're tired of hearing people like, LIV is not the answer, because you saw it at the majors here. They did not perform because of what we're saying and everything that's going on. So why would you go over there? And now that would, I would say, that would lessen his chance of getting the Grand Slam.
Scott, by the way, said, I would have signed that deal so fast, especially after the merger.
Oh, 100%. But here's the thing. If you knew the merger was happening, like if he had insider information, like that Monahan's like, hey, I'm signing this. This is going to be the thing. So you're going to go get your money. I would 100% gone and got my money.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame him for it. But let's be honest. And I think, Lee, you and I were talking about this today about, like, he's not the top performer right now. He's not the best guy. He's falling into the category of everyone else who's gone on LIV.
I think with Rory, he's got his deal with Tiger for that indoor league if the bubble doesn't burst again.
Yeah, TGL.
Yeah, and I think Tiger's got Rory's ear, and it's just like you can't do this.
I think the challenge that I saw, and Greg, you said this. I said this earlier in the show. Rory is a guy who now has Poppy at home. He's got his child, much like Jordan. Phil's game fell off after when they first had kids. Tiger's really the only athlete that never had his game fall off after having children on the PGA Tour. Scottie
will be the next one.
Yeah. So, I think that there is I think when you look at the bigger picture with Rory, there was no way he was going, and I'm glad he came out and said something today. I just hope it doesn't turn out to be a vote of confidence by an NFL owner talking about their head coach, because we all know how well those go.
He's still our coach, but that's the thing here. This would have been bad for golf. I'm glad Rory made the decision he made, but also, I mean, $850 million is $850 million. So, but you really got to look, if that's the case, if they're going to keep poaching, if they're going to keep doing this stuff, it's not good for golf. LIV, do your thing. That's fine, but get players out of college.
Are we buying the fact that no? Because LIV doesn't want players out of college, because that's the problem with the PGA Tour, according to their fans, is that when players like Nick Dunlop win in the PGA Tour, it shows how crummy the depth is on the PGA Tour. They want old established veterans who are past their prime to go and play on the LIV Tour, because that's the draw. Like, LIV can't win. Like, their fans are like, oh well, Nick Dunlap winning, or Jake Knapp
is awesome.
Right. Right. Like, I'm there with you. It's awesome. They're looking at it, well, what the old guard and the usual guys don't win. Well, that doesn't happen on the LIV Tour either, because all of them are washed up and past their prime. Like, let's be real. I don't have a lot of respect for that. And like, you can't sit there and tell me the best part of the PGA Tour is who's up next, because the depth is so good.
Yeah. Well, it's the amazing stories you get. Like, it's the Dunlap story is unbelievable. Like, that's what's fun about it.
Lucas Glover last year, who we all wrote off and tried, but went on a streak at the end of the year. Here's a guy that had
Kinda
to
kept
fight
it
his way
going.
into like the U.S. Open and didn't even qualify for the U.S. Open last year as a past winner, and goes on this streak at the end of the year, and now he's tour exempt for the next 5 years.
Where did he finish? Does he get he got an invite back for next year, right? He was in the top 12, right?
He was in the top of Augusta. He was up there. I don't know how he finished. He was up there going into the final round, and I don't know how he played on the last day.
Finished tied for 20th, +3.
Wow.
Ooh, so right there.
No. Okay. Well,
But here's the thing: he can still do other stuff on tour. Like he's still playing good golf now. He's not dropping back off.
He could be in the top 50 and get his invite for next year.
where does Greg Norman showing up at Augusta, having to buy a ticket? We all know that didn't happen.
My favorite comment. Did you hear the joke that said Greg Norman? I had a hot dog at Augusta. It felt so good, but then I choked on the last bite. I was like, oh, that's the greatest joke.
I mean, I feel like his comments when he came out this week and were like, oh, the fans were all thanking me for what I've done to help grow the game and this, that, and the other. I feel like he sounded like a politician waiting for
Like
50%
one
of
politician.
waiting for 50% of the people to jump on board with what he says.
Oh, it was that one person said something nice to him about like, oh, I love what you're doing. And he's like, oh, my hand hurts from the one guy that shook your hand, Norman.
Yeah. No, hey, by the way, so Nick from Dingers was there on Wednesday. And Nick said that he has a picture shaking Greg Norman's hand, actually, that he's saving for me.
Nick was the one. Nick was the one.
Nick
that shook
was
his
the
hand.
one.
There you go, Nick.
But here's the thing: I do believe there are fans of Live, and that's great out there for what it is. But you know what? You did this out of a petty thing, and to be honest, I think Live would be better off without you, Greg Norman.
Yeah,
I think Greg Norman is single-handedly ruining the game of golf.
Yes,
for his own gain in soothing his own ego.
it's for stroking his own ego.
Yes,
Like he thinks that he is right, and he thinks that like when Arnie and Jack are the ones telling you and PGA media, like, we're not doing what you think. We're like, the PGA wasn't broken. The PGA didn't need to be fixed. If people didn't like it, then go make another league, but don't go do it as attacking the league that made you who you are. Like, that's the other part that bugs me. Like, that's the league that made you who you are. If you want to go do your own thing, that's fine. Be like the big three in basketball.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't attack the NBA. It doesn't say that it's trying to poach it. It's poach it. It does the same thing Liv does and poaches old players from the NBA. But
They're all retired.
it's true, but it's not bad mouthing it. They're playing basketball. You know what? Go play golf and don't bat it. Like, just The Rock's not going to the NFL and being like the XFL or the UFL is better than the NFL. No, he's saying we're what we are and we can both coexist.
Yeah.
They're not
he's
ruining
saying,
football.
you know what he's saying? He's saying know your role and shut your mouth. I'm quoting The Rock there.
I know. He's doing that. He knows his role and he's promoting what he's making a good decent brand with that.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that's successful. But here's the funny part. You know why the USFL failed the first time? Because Trump tried to said, I want to be the same season as the NFL. I want to be better than the NFL and do it. And it failed.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
And they're not trying to get NFL standings or points, whereas Liv is trying to get the was trying.
Well, again, you can't play team golf and get official world golf ranking points. You're playing a completely different game.
Yep.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole again.
4 rounds. Same thing.
Hey, Scott just asked, can you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Pancakes.
It's always pancakes.
This reminds me of what we heard on the golf course, Greg, about Rock. Anyway.
All right.
Rock always beats Scissor.
Let's should we move on to Smack of the Week?
I think it's that time.
Yes.
I can just say I played 36 holes with these the Bridgestone Mindset golf balls today. Unbelievable. I was showing Lee.
Did you see the chip shot that
Speaking of
Jason Day hit on 12 at Augusta? Thanks, Dave. Thanks for rubbing that in.
Yeah.
That's what a
the
round's
chip
worth,
shot that-
Dave.
That's Dave's front nine.
That's my front nine.
That's the front nine.
The
I'll just say
chip shot.
back nines matter.
Back nines matter. The shot that Jason Day hit on 12, he had a chip shot on 12 on I think Thursday that rolled up right to the edge of the cup and stopped. Did you see that?
Yes,
With
yeah, and you can see
with
the mindset. Logo
you
right
can
there.
see the mindset. I was like, oh, nice. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
It was, and I'll say it, I love it because I was telling Lee today, and I was telling you guys know Dwayne. I was telling Dwayne today. I said that green dot is my hit the tack. I said that was Dwayne's always with putting, like hit the tack, knock it in. I said that's what it's been for me. Is it gives me such a great visual to the line, and then I just know I set up, boom, I hit it, and like I love that. I just love I thought it looked weird when we first saw it, but once I've started using it, I don't want another mark on my golf ball.
Today's smack of the week is I found it and I thought this is a fitting. Somebody needed the mindset on their golf ball. This wouldn't have happened. That's what I'm going to lead with.
I'm a mad motherfucker right now.
I know, I bet. I have Windows too.
Yeah. What's your name? Vitaly. All right, Vitaly. You owe me $681. I'm goddamn madder than shit. You can't hit this goddamn thing. It's 200 yards wide, and you're hitting houses.
Slice and slice. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're sorry? I'm out a window. Go to the next hole.
I haven't hit yet.
Yeah, I haven't hit it.
Okay.
I hope the next game.
Don't live on a golf course.
Don't live on a golf course. That's always been my comment. Like if you know where you live, you can buy insurance for that if you live on a golf course. And you know what? Don't attack people that live on I've been on golf courses where people come out and like yell at people, and it's like just for hitting it in their yard, not breaking anything, just hitting it in their yard. So you live on a golf course, man.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Or into a pool.
If you pool pond,
Lee, tell Dave where you're playing on Friday.
Golden Bear.
Oh, I've been in a pool there.
I heard that.
I've been in a pool.
A comment from Scott. He knows how much the window costs, $681. Not the first time, apparently.
I was the same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing. Like it's not the first time. And Lee, when he came out and goes, "What's your name?" What do you think went through my head? Tony. That's the whole thing that I thought was going to come up with that one. We had a lot of good quotes between Shank Duff and myself on the.
There's quite a few today.
Was.
All right. Smack of the week is on. Where are we at now? Last call. Announcement.
Last call. None of you have commented on the Harbortown trophy that is sitting behind me.
I have literally live 53 minutes and 45 seconds covering that on my screen. So, I mean, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Nice.
We should have helped us on the 18th today.
What is let's start with what's your favorite hole at Harbortown? Can't say 18. Can't say 18.
It's not
Number
18.
3.
Ooh. The par 3?
Yep.
I was thinking about a par 3, but I wasn't thinking 3.
Which one are you thinking?
14.
See, I like 13.
I love 13. Don't get me wrong, and I love when we stand here behind the green and take bets on Dave how many times he's going to hit the railroad ties.
Yeah.
But
is
I
for
really
is for the first par 5?
no, that's 2.
No, 2 is the first par 5.
What's the second one?
Second par 5?
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, it's 7.
Was it 7 that I just took my putter and rolled one in from off the green from about 55 feet away and I went, oh, that's good.
Might have
I
been.
don't remember. It might have been. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Dave, you've rolled so many putts in from off the green that I just forget about them at this point.
You roll putts from everywhere. Lee was rolling putts today.
Was it with a Lombardi? I got to ask.
Not yet. That one's coming.
Not yet. That one's
Yeah.
coming. Okay.
He showed me the Lombardi.
Those
today.
ones are in the process of being done up.
Nice.
So, Greg, what's your favorite hole? Are you 13?
13. I like 13.
I mean, I think 17's a fun hole. I just think 14's a better par 3.
I like 16 too.
I do like 16. It's fun.
That is a fun hole.
Yep.
It's one of those
Thank you.
courses, to be honest with you. It's not. I don't think it's a perfect 18 holes that are all immaculate. There are some holes on there that are okay, but I gotta say, it's almost 15, 16 of the holes.
Yeah.
Are pretty amazing.
Yeah. You know what hole I don't like is 1.
I was gonna say one is interesting for.
There's like 4 trees that need to be taken out, and 1 will be fine.
I feel like one
in the middle of the night, and nobody knows I'm there. 1 will be better
because it's a Nicholas and Dye design. 1 is a combination of both of them.
Yeah.
Because the hole sets up for Nicholas, but it's that short par 4 that Dye is like introducing you to the course, but it's not as easy as he normally does it. Like that's where Nicholas comes in. Like it's the perfect start to that course for the 2 architects behind it.
Yep.
But yeah, I hate that hole.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
It's a tough first shot.
Yes, because there's nowhere to land your driver, and no matter where you hit it, you probably are coming in over a tree.
Keep it to the right.
You really you have to keep it to the right, but you have to bend it around a tree to get it to the right. Let's be honest. Like,
oh, that's easy.
That's true. Yeah. and if you're a pro this week and try to bend it too much, you're in a barbecue stand.
Yeah,
seen that a couple times.
I've seen players sit out of there.
Yep.
Pulled pork and a side of slaw, and I'm gonna hit a 7.
And I'm gonna
be on there on the pro-am day, and you better have a hard hat on.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that course in a pro-am.
It's scary.
You know,
that was yesterday. Today.
No, it's tomorrow. It's Wednesday.
No, their pro-am is early. It's not open to the public.
Yeah.
They
It's
do
only
a Monday and a
practice
Wednesday. Oh, because I was going to say we should do that next year. We should get Dave in the pro-am. We should caddy for him.
No.
I'm all for that. I think that'd be fun.
Right.
Get me in the pro-am. I'll play.
We should get all of us in the
I'll
pro-am.
take my Sunday bag with 3 clubs in it, and I'll be good.
Yeah. We should get all of us in the pro-am.
There you go. Golfing Dad pro-am.
3-wood 7-iron putter?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Maybe a sand wedge.
All right. So great golf course this week. Elevated event. Matthew Fitzpatrick defending after a playoff with Jordan Spieth last year, hitting a great shot in the playoff to win. You think that this year's tournament is just as good as last year's?
The last 2, to be honest, because it's been Jordan won, then he was in a playoff the following year. So it's with Fitzpatrick coming back as the reigning champion. I think that this could be another fun event this year. I'm hoping it is.
Yeah,
it's honestly surprising that Jordan has won and then came in runner-up last year because the dude hit so many foul balls off the tee on a golf course that is that tight that it's amazing that he actually hits that many good shots out there.
It's one of those, but he knows the course and he doesn't get himself into too much trouble. He might hit a bad shot, but he's not in a bad position.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm going on Thursday and Friday, so I'll let you know.
We're looking for pictures for that.
They'll be out there.
Okay.
I want to post some pictures from today too. Lee, you got to post a picture. You got a good one of all of us at the end of the round today. So
I put it out in the story.
Oh, perfect. I haven't looked yet.
All right, let's go to odds with Dave. Oh. We forgot to do something tonight.
We're doing it later.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it and then do it.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I figured we'd end the show with that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, keep people entertained and in there.
Gets the people going. It's provocative.
So the problem is that I think Instagram is kicking us off after an hour. That's why I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
We're already past that.
Coming into this week, dad-to-be Scottie Scheffler at 4-1. Steve with a massive win at the Masters with Scottie.
I finally got my first win.
Yes.
Thanks, Scottie.
Yeah, but you got it with the same person I got my first win with.
And so did I.
That tells you something.
Yeah, we all have one win with Scottie this year.
Yep.
So people not named Scottie Scheffler. Xander's coming in at 10-1. Rory at 12-1 with Ludwig Åberg.
Åberg.
You heard 84 different pronunciations of his name this weekend.
Åberg's the correct one.
Patrick at 14. Tommy Fleetwood at 18. Colin at 18. Last year's champion, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Max Homa and Cameron Young, all at 25.
All right. So, Dave, did you get last place
I got last.
Masters?
I won.
You got first pick.
No,
Steve
I
has
won.
first. I have second.
Steve won, and I have third.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I wanted to look at Jordan. He's hurt, wrist injury. Not picking Jordan.
He's 28-1.
I think that's real high for him. That's a lot of really good odds right there.
Yeah.
I wanted to look at Fitzpatrick. I'm not picking him to defend. I really wanted to take a long, hard look at Scottie this week and thought I can't pick Scottie because he's going to be leaving at some point during the round this week because his wife's having a baby. So I'm going to go with the obvious choice on this, and that's Ludwig Åberg.
Yeah. So
I don't know how well this course sets up for him, though, but
yeah,
we should do pretty good. Dave,
you're
on the clock.
He hits it 330 and straight. Why wouldn't this course be like a dream for him?
you can't hit it long on this course. That's the thing. Long players have trouble with this course.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I brought his name up earlier in the show, and I think it's Lucas Glover this week.
Ooh, I thought about Lucas too because Clemson guy, South Carolina native.
My other pick was Max Homa, to see if he can carry some momentum from the Masters. But I think Lucas Glover this week coming in at 55-1 right now. Greg,
I'm taking Scottie. I am. Here's the thing. I'm not taking him. I'm taking him because I'm. If I'm going to pick him and he's going to miss the cut, so it's going to just fit in my my.
Well, but if he walks off the course for Greg. Here's the thing. If he pulls out,
before the first tee on Thursday, I can change.
You're allowed to pick anybody else that is not
hasn't teed off. Yep. So I know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I'm taking Scottie because you know what. I can't go against.
We have to put in, and I'm going to put a caveat in. And Dave, you're right. But if he leaves Friday and withdraws on Friday,
I can't pick anybody else. I'm out.
You can't pick anybody else. But what does Greg get for points? Because
-5.
Missed cut. It's a missed cut.
I'm going to go with this. If he's leaving, what's the golfing dads? if he's leaving as a result of having a child,
I get the win.
I'm gonna go. No,
Zero.
you get zero. You get
I'm
zero.
going, Dad.
I
Come on,
vote.
I get the win. Yeah,
I
there
second
you go. We got 2 votes. Dave third.
I'm willing to give you 0 and not have to take the -5 for that for a miscut.
Yeah, I'll agree to the 0.
Okay.
If he withdraws, you get a 0.
Okay, I would have taken that. I would have taken the -5, but I appreciate the 0. So
Well, we can't curse Scottie with your -5.
that's true.
Yes.
Lee?
Scotty's already immune to my. I got to win with him already. So
Lee, who do you got this week?
Fleetwood.
Nice.
ooh, okay,
He's getting hungry. He's been hungry for a while.
getting
He's
hungry.
been
I mean, the
hungry
guy's been
for 10
starving.
years.
It's gonna happen.
Guy's on life support. I mean, unbelievable player, but just I don't.
Yeah.
I think at this point he's like Mickelson trying to win a U.S. Open.
Yeah. Wow.
Tell me I'm wrong.
A little less pressure out here.
No, I just mean winning in the United States. So
He's gonna go down in history like Colin Montgomery.
yeah, it's looking that way.
Yeah.
All right, we need to pick a winner.
We do need to pick a winner.
There's the putter.
I held that in my hands today. I did not use it on the course, but I did hold it this morning. So
Oh, hold on. We have a comment from the peanut gallery here.
So says Bradley.
Lee, that's going back to the fantasy football, something that happened in fantasy football. So,
Ah.
yeah.
he's just upset he lost. He won the bracket, so why is this not letting me share my screen? Where is let me do this.
Hey, Dave, there's a question of what are the odds on Scottie's wife going to the labor before Sunday? Are those posted? Chris, no. I get too much going on right now. I'll send you a note on Facebook. Thank you, though. I just can't travel right now. So
No, I do not have odds on that. At least on DraftKings.
Okay. Now we're sharing a screen with a screen. I'm confused. I see myself.
I looked up and I thought I was frozen.
I know.
Can you
I was
see
like
the-
waving at myself.
Can you see the duck race now?
No.
No.
Really? That's my screen. That's literally what I'm sharing right now.
We
know
see
why it's
ourselves.
not.
I see me drinking out of my cup.
A very long drink.
Hold
Yeah.
on, let me see. Let me see if I do it this way. There we go. Now I got it.
Okay.
There we go.
Lee,
All right.
number between 1 and 10.
8.
Eight.
8 is the number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Here we go.
On your mark, get set, duck race.
It's a lot of ducks.
It is a lot of ducks.
A lot of ducks.
What the duck?
That's it. Hey. Good
Duck
entry.
25.
Duff, I'd like to
25.
point out they did it for 30 seconds.
Duck 25. That mean anything to you, Lee?
That red duck ain't winning.
No, that's falling. It always falls back. Oh, we got a close race.
Oh, we got a pink duck. The pink duck.
There we go.
Is that Alex? It's got to be from
Loparna?
Instagram. Alex Loperna, 710. Let's see if we can find Alex on here.
So yeah, if everyone, you had a duck for any entries that you had, so you might have had multiple ducks in there.
Yeah.
So it was a fair race. There's a lot of ducks in there. A lot of ducks on the pond.
Congrats, Alex.
Congrats,
look at
Alex.
what's coming to you. I saw that today too.
Ooh, that's nice.
Just
Hello,
finished it
friends.
up last night, so I'll get it shafted. And
Yeah.
plus the Lombardi, awesome Masters putter.
I will say, lines up. Show them the top line, Lee. That's
I'm out
it's
of
kind of
hands.
You're out of hands. Oh, that's awesome.
tough. Yeah.
Great work by Lombardi Golf and Wedge FX there.
Yeah, Lee, you are an
Yes.
artiste. I love the azalea on the end there. So, and also
Mike,
the
there are
fancy
no
logo on the
shenanigans.
toe.
There were no shenanigans.
None.
There's always
All right, everybody.
shenanigans.
Well, have a good week. Congratulations to Alex. And we will
Enjoy the heritage.
Enjoy the Heritage. Greg, have fun this week. And maybe we'll do a Instagram takeover, Greg, for the Tavern page on Instagram this week.
We might have to. We might have to. I can't do it from.
set that up.
Can't do live stream. So
What is this? Disney World? You can't do that there at Disney World anymore either.
yeah. All right.
All right.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, y'all.
See you, buddy.
Peace.